How's everyone doing? You're back with your boy Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to look at complementary and supplementary angles and how we can use this in order to find unknown values incredibly easily. As long as you're okay with 3 facts, you're going to be fine for this topic. The 3 facts that we've got absolutely locked in is that a right angle is exactly 90 degrees, a straight angle is exactly 180 degrees, and a revolution is 360. These 3 things cannot change. If you've been given a right angle, a straight angle, or a revolution, we already know exactly how many degrees that angle has, and we can use this to our advantage. That means if we've got an angle that we know for a fact, a right angle or a straight angle, for example, if a line comes through and breaks that angle up into 2, we know for sure that it's going to be 90 degrees. If we just know one of the sizes of the 2 angles that have been made, we can use that information to find the unknown incredibly easily. For example, in this one, I know for sure that x plus y would have to equal 90 because I know it's a right angle. The only skill we need to use is we need to make a one-step algebra equation where we know what the answer is. For a right angle, it's always going to be equal to 90. For a straight angle, it's always going to be equal to 180. We're going to do a couple of examples of this, but if you can write this one-step equation out, I think you're going to find it incredibly easy. We're just looking really for, hey, what's left over out of this exact amount that we know. So for this one, I know that this is a right angle. That square there tells me that it's exactly 90 degrees. So my answer is going to be equal to 90. That's what I've been told. And I know that the 2 components of this must equal that 90 degrees. I've got x and I've got 35. So I can write down x plus 35 equals to 90 because it has to. From there, I just have to get x by itself. If I minus 35 from both sides, I'm left with x is equal to 55 degrees and we're done. You can always check these at the end in order to guarantee that you got it right. All you've got to do is plus the answer that you got, so the 55, plus the number that was given in the question, that 35. 55 plus 35 is equal to 90, so we know we did it right. So we always call angles that add up to 90 complementary. So they make a right angle when they're plus together. The way that I remember this is that if you say like, oh, you're right or you're right, that's kind of like a compliment, and complement sounds like complementary. So the angles that make up a right angle are complementary angles. So we don't have to learn any more skills when dealing with a straight angle like this. I know that a straight angle is definitely equal to 180 degrees every single time. And in this one, I've been given x is taking up a lot of it, and the 50 degrees is still there. So I know that x plus 50 has to equal 180, and that's 100% correct. From there, I just have to do a little bit of one-step equation manipulation. I minus 50 from both sides, and I'm left with x is equal to 130. Just before we check on our calculator, just in your mind, make sure that this makes sense. The x looks like a much bigger angle, and this one's obtuse, whereas the other one is way smaller and acute. This way, I kind of know, just looking off the graph, that this answer is definitely in the correct ballpark. Angles that add up to 180 or a straight angle, they're called supplementary. I do not have a fun way to remember that, so if you've got one, please hit me up in the comments below. But we just need to know that angles that add up to 180 are called supplementary angles. So for this one, we've been given an acute angle, but we're actually looking at the reflex around the outside. We've been told that that's 295 degrees. We know that a whole circle is equal to 360. So that means I've got x plus 295 is equal to 360 because the whole circle is 360. So again, all I've got to do here is minus that 295 from both sides, leaving me with x is equal to 65. Done. Again, you can throw this into your calculator. 65 plus 295 is equal to 360. So I know that I got this right. And then even for these ones where it looks like it's a little bit harder, we've got 3 angles going on here. The maths is exactly the same. We know that this is a straight angle, so it has to be equal to 180. And this time I've got x plus that 108 must equal that 180 that we know. Instead of writing x plus x, we can write 2x plus 108 is equal to 180. This time I just have to do the same kind of steps, but I need to do a 2-step equation instead of 1. So I minus the 108 as my first step. So this leaves me with 2x is equal to 72. Unfortunately, I don't need to know what 2x is equal to, I need to know what 1x is equal to. In order to get x by itself, I need to divide both sides by 2. This just gives me x is equal to 36, and I'm absolutely on my way. Again, you can do 36 plus 108 to find out whether or not that equals 180. It does in this example, so we know that we got it right. So my big pro tip for these questions is please start with what you know. We know that a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. We know a straight angle is equal to 180, and we know a revolution is equal to 360. If you start with this, if you are struggling to get these questions right, I guarantee it will help your working out. It's just a way for us to get our knowledge down on the page straight away. From there, we just have to write what we can see in the question. If we know that two things make up 90, write them both down with a little plus sign, and you're halfway to getting these marks right. Thanks so much for watching this one, and I'll see you later.